Hello everybody and welcome back. Aria, Leo and Eli, as always, hello. And anybody else, once again, that has decided to join us on this journey through music, welcome back too. Or welcome. I mean, if you're watching this for the first time, or my channel for the first time, welcome. So we've been covering Dimash, and I have done one video on Morissette. I intend to come back to Morissette because of the fact that, well, she's fantastic. But what I want to do today, what I want to look at today, is it's probably a longer video, so stay with us if you can. That'd be great. But we're going to look at Autumn Strong. I've seen Autumn Strong, but I have to say, Adagio is spectacular in terms of the power that's displayed and the raw kind of desperate emotion that comes out of that particular performance is beyond phenomenal. Autumn Strong, I think, is the other end of that scale or spectrum. Autumn Strong is a really fantastic song. It's so quietly clear and beautiful, really is the word that sums the song up. Beautiful. What I've done is I've gone to Gloria's account once again and I've pulled up the video that explains the story behind it. So we're going to watch through that, yeah, and we're going to see exactly how this song came about, and why it's such a great song. When I first listened to this song, I did not know the story behind it, and when I listened to it, what I actually thought the song was about. And if you watch it with me, or if you go and you watch it after this, really try and picture it being a song about a person who's living their life from, say, their teens, when they're just kind of realizing what life is about and finding their way through it. And then they become, like a parent, and they move through the stronger years of their life, and then it kind of fades away into kind of a crescendo, this idea of fading away as your life ends. And the lights in the background when they come down, the way they move through those orange colours and into the whites near the end, really lends itself to that kind of a feel. And this is why I love this song, and this is why I love music in general, is because I didn't know the words. I didn't have a clue what the song was about. But I garnered this completely different impression of the song, and it fits so well. Aria, Leo and Eli, as you'll already know, well, hopefully you'll remember, but you probably don't know, I'm one of those tragic artist types that has been writing a novel since I was 14 years old in high school. And it's fleshed itself out quite well over the years, a lot of years. But this song brought up in me kind of as a scene from that novel that kind of struck me one day. And what I'd like to do maybe in another channel, in another video, where I'll explore things like the arts, is if I remember, I'll tell that story and I'll relate it back to this video, because there's so many things, so many emotions that this particular song brings up in you. So as is the usual thing, kind of I've found that as we've been doing these, there is a format that I'm beginning to fall into naturally, which is what I was hoping to do, where we'll go through the song, we'll we'll react naturally and organically, is the word I'm looking for, to the actual music in the song itself and his beautiful performance. And then near the end of it, we'll see what it brings up in us. And we'll have a talk about those kinds of emotions and what lessons we can learn from them in life so that you can take something away. Yeah? Because that's the idea of this video, is that as my children, you get to see who I am, what I'm about at this point in my life. You know? I really wish this kind of stuff was around in my parents' day. Anyway, as is the usual thing, there is an intro. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get straight into it. Autumn Strong by Dimash. Daybreak.
Met ben. Şeyde bir haftanın içinde Kıtay dilinde өте қиын дүние.
So it's just saying that to master a Chinese song in 1 week is really difficult. And he'd be right. It's my understanding that he didn't know much English either when he first started in this competition. He's talking about how much he's moved by the song and that's why he chose to sing it. As per usual, he's worried. He's always worried that his pronunciation won't be good enough. That's understandable.
Көрермендер үшін әрқашанда 100% өзін 100% беріліп тұрып жұмыс жасау керек. Сол кезде көрермендер де 100% қолдап отырады. Бүгінгі таңда көрермендердің ықыласымен ниеттеніп ең алғашқы
He's just saying that he really wants to connect with the audience. And that he just wants everyone to witness the result of really committing. Oh, love this song. Such a beautiful flute. We'll just pause it there because I mean it's just started and there's already so much so many like feelings and connections, and the way that his voice is so clear, and yet through that kind of breathy delivery he creates a distance, if that makes sense, like you're listening to the song from across the other side of an ocean. And this is what I mean by the sound creates the song as well as the lyrics. So, we're talking about a person that was shunned by the place that she called home and deported and sent across an ocean, And in this particular part of the song, he's not even really talking about that ocean, but the distance can be heard in the way that he's delivering and just the way that his voice kind of carries itself ever so softly up into those higher registers. And it is softly. I mean, we just watched, one of the singers, I think his name might be Lion, I'm not too sure, sorry if that's wrong. And he kind of closed his eyes because that's what this guy does to you. He forces you to feel the note rather than just hear the note. Sorry, I don't want to stop it, but I will when you hear it. There's a note that I really need you guys to understand when you hear it. This note. I mean, if you go back and listen to that, he just reaches underneath that note and lifts it up. I mean, I can't even really repeat how the sound goes, but he pushes out with it, and it starts out low and it climbs slowly and then suddenly kind of disappears. And it reaches underneath and lifts it up. And then as he's disappearing, and then he shifts into the next part of it where it's soft, but it's powerful and loud. And just as you're drifting away, it brings you back into the song in such a wonderful way. It's just mastery is what it is. That note. Again, oh my God, the vibrato and the way that he gets you to hang on to what he's singing, and then again, did you hear it? It goes under the note and lifts and disappears, and it's crystal clear and it's perfectly pitched, and its volume is perfectly matched to get the note to carry. Forget about it. Just. Every day I listen to this song if I can. Sometimes I'm too busy, but I try because the rest of my day is 100% better because of it. Listen to this part. I'm so sorry for all of the pausing, but the change here it's not just a change in key or whatever, it's a change in delivery of the story. It's another chapter. It's like a book opening to the next part. The lights. almost gets me every time. But that powerful vibrato-driven note that he holds, and then he just picks it up and see again, like I spoke in one of his other videos, how he's holding his hand and showing you, what note he's hitting, and he holds them. You watch, he holds them like this, and then he turns them when he ends them. It's fantastic. Here we go. Ugh. That's something else. You bathe in the last 30 seconds of that song. I'm gonna rewind this. We'll go back. You literally, it feels like the sun, just you're bathing in this light. Again with those harder notes that he holds, and he kind of just bathes you in this warm sound. And then, as the distance collects again and the song begins to close, and the way that he kind of dances through that end part before he hits the final high note is just, you can't replicate that anywhere else, and it's fantastic. So we're going to go back and have a look at this from about 8 minutes. Would it be? Let's have a look. Yeah. We'll go back to 7:50 odd. Let's have a Yeah. I'm not going to apologise. People keep saying in the comments, stop saying I'm sorry, but man. I want to find this part though, and it's about, so for me, we'll say this is about the 6-minute mark into this particular video. She's impressed. Who isn't? Here, bathe. Just hits you in waves, bathing in that song. Bathes you in it, then just brings you back down really carefully, and then just and he just lets you go. That's it. Aria, Leo, Eli, I mean, you may one day come across this and listen to this music and see my reaction to it. You may disagree. And it's okay. It really is. But this is how I think. This is how I live my life. And this is how I interact with people, is with these kinds of understandings and thoughts. If everybody has a different perspective and everybody has a different story that they're trying to tell simply by existing, they're trying to show you their part in the greater song of life. And sometimes it's sad. Sometimes it's distant. Sometimes it's beautiful, and sometimes it's warm. And it's our job as listeners to consider their story, even if they don't tell it. So that kind of drifted off. Sorry. Basically, there was a problem with the camera, and it kind of failed at that moment. But everything I said holds true. It's our duty to make the world a better place, kids. Be of value. Be of worth. Not just for everybody else, but for yourself too. Listen to people. Listen to the things around you. Feel your way just as much as think your way. Balance. We've been talking about balance. I think that's a good place to leave it. I've used up enough of your time. Aria, Leo, Eli, I love you. Everybody else, it's along for the journey. Take care. We'll see you next time.